Time flies when you're having fun and saving some money. A year ago, I left Spotify, and honestly, I have no regrets. I made a video last year on how I left Spotify and what services I was using, as well as which devices. Well, it's been 1 year and so much has changed since that last video. Now, before getting into it, I kind of want to discuss why I left Spotify to begin with. Of course, it's paying the same fee every month. I was listening to the same music all the time. I'm a big 90s fan, so I was listening to the same songs and I didn't want to pay each month to listen to the same music. And now more recently, I think I would add generative AI to that list. More and more, we've been seeing a lot of artists coming forth and saying that generative AI is ruining their accounts, as well as ruining the platform in general. Spotify lets you create and upload music, but unfortunately, it also lets you create and upload music onto artist platforms and artist pages. Now, this doesn't usually happen to the most famous artists. This happens to smaller artists, and they don't have the resources, the lawyers, and the push to make those tracks disappear. This could take weeks, months, or some artists just plain give up. If you want to see more on this topic, I highly recommend Anthony Fantano's recent video. I'll link it down below. Now, besides Spotify turning into a generative AI slopfest, Spotify for me just doesn't do it. It doesn't promote new artists the way that I would like to see new artists get recognized. It does have an algorithm working behind and suggesting music you might like, but I don't want an algorithm to decide everything for me. I'm sick of algorithms and I want to find music my way and I want to pay artists fairly. Now, with that being said, I do thrift CDs. I do pick up CDs from the library, but I want to go through different use cases on when I do those specific practices. Now, when thrifting CDs, my most prized possessions are soundtracks and compilation CDs. I find that you get the most bang for your buck for these CDs, and you discover new artists and music similar to the artist that you might like on that particular compilation album. I mean, all of us grew up listening to compilation soundtracks like Now. My personal favorite is Now 1994 at the moment. Now, besides that, music soundtracks are amazing playlists. They kind of tell the story of the movie that you might have really liked, and it brings back those memories and those feelings. So I definitely like thrifting those particular albums, and it helps me discover new artists. Now, another way I collect music is by going to my local library. I do pay a lot of taxes living in France, so I might as well take advantage of my library. Generally at the library, they have the most popular albums. I think I've gotten all the Taylor Swift songs from the library, so sorry Taylor, the library gave them to me. Now, my library has a limited collection. It is very curated, of course, for the French audience. So if I have French artists that are quite popular, I might go in there and pick up the CD as well. Lastly, I do purchase music through a digital platform. I use 7digital. You can use any platform. I'm not getting paid for this. I'm just saying I chose 7digital because they are based in the UK. And previously they've worked with BlackBerry, so you know my connection with BlackBerry. I like 7digital because I can go in and buy that music. And I feel that buying music, it just makes me feel good to own that piece of music and be able to do with it what I wish. Whether that be put it on a microSD, burn it onto a CD, or take it wherever I want. I'm not paying to rent this music, I'm paying to own it. And that's one of the key things of leaving Spotify. I'm sick of renting things. This goes for any streaming platform. I don't want to rent TV shows, movies. I want to own things, and I want the artists to get compensated for the things that I'm purchasing. For example, most recently, Eurovision happened here in Europe, and there were a few songs that I really liked, so I went on to 7digital and I purchased those songs. That way the artist can get compensated for those songs directly. Now, after I collect all of my music, I may need to rip some CDs. Now, recently this past year, I did transfer from my old laptop, which had a CD-ROM in it, and I got an external CD-ROM so that way I can rip as well as burn CDs from my newer computer. I use Linux, so I'm going to preface that, but my external CD-ROM worked both on Windows and Linux perfectly. I just use an Asus CD-ROM. You can use any external CD-ROM. Honestly, I think they all work more or less the same. Now, I rip my CDs on Linux with Rhythmbox, and it works perfectly fine. I also burn CDs when I need to. I like burning CDs to take on road trips. It's kind of like my playlist on the go. Yes, I still have a car that has a CD player. I'm that old. Besides that, I think giving CDs as a gift is a fun gift as well, and a birthday card or something just to make it more personal. Now, as far as listening to my music, in my last video, I mentioned that I was using the Mention MP3 player. I'm no longer using that specific MP3 player, but I have upgraded to a variety of different devices depending on my use case. My most commonly used device to listen to music is actually a CD player. I do use a Klim Nomad CD player. This has Bluetooth capability for my headphones, and generally I just put my CD in my desk drawer and then I'm able to listen to my music that way. I also have a Boombox where I use my CDs, listen to the radio, and it even has a USB thumb drive where I can put my digital music on it as well. This allows me to make music more interactive, especially with my son, and really introduce him to the love of music. Another device that I did get last year was an iPod Classic, but a custom-made one. Many of you saw in my video at the beginning of the year that this iPod no longer worked. Unfortunately, the battery didn't work. There was a charging problem. And one of you from the community, Epu, reached out and helped me out by upgrading the battery and also upgrading the memory. So it's 128 gigs. I have all of my music library on this device. I love the design of it. It works fantastic. And it's just a vintage touch to my music collection. Lastly, I also store all of my music on a microSD card, which allows me to take my music with me in different devices, whether that be an MP3 player or more specifically a phone. A lot of the phones I use have a microSD slot, and I know many of you say, which phones? These are usually digital minimalist device or dumb phones, as a lot of people like to refer to them as. And I exclusively look for devices with this capability because I like to store my photos, any documents I may need to take with me regularly, and my music. So I do have that option as well. I think diversifying how I listen to my music has kept it interesting. I use devices depending on my mood, and I really try to connect with the music again. When it comes to CDs, I try to listen from start to finish to really enjoy the art as it was meant to be listened to and created. I think streaming platforms and social media has kind of diluted music in a way that we just consume it in short form content or little bite-sized pieces. But music is such a beautiful art form, and artists who write and sing and create those art pieces are looking to capture and share the human emotions with you. And if you're not listening to the entire song, the lyrics, and really trying to get the understanding of what the artist was trying to convey, I think you're losing a little bit of humanity in a way. And that's what I don't like about streaming platforms. They kind of dumb down the process of you trying to understand your own feelings and trying to link with the music that kind of connects to you. And since leaving Spotify, I feel that connecting with music has been a great gift that I've rediscovered. It's something that I used to do, of course, all the time in the 90s and the early 2000s. And it's something I'm glad I rediscovered. And I think a lot of people need to leave these streaming platforms in order to feel that again, or to feel it for the first time if you're younger. I highly recommend trying out and leaving the streaming platforms. It may be a slow migration for you. You may need to learn new skills and new ways to find music, but honestly, I don't think you'll regret it. I know I haven't. Let me know down below how you get a hold of your music, and let's keep it moving. Let's move off of these streaming platforms and help artists be seen. Thank you again to all the channel supporters and thank all of you for watching this video. See you soon.